New at noon, a former Precinct 4 deputy constable out on bond after being charged with 2 counts of sexual assault. Devon Raming live outside the Criminal Justice Center in downtown, where that former deputy just made his first court appearance. So what did you find out, Devon?
Well, Sherman, this case has been 2 years in the making, and the suspect in this case, prosecutors say, is Alexander Thompson. They say he used his title as a deputy to lure his victims in 2 separate incidents. Now, investigators say the first sexual assault case happened while Thompson was a Precinct 4 deputy back in October of 2022, involving an 18-year-old girl he allegedly met while in uniform working at the Galleria Mall. Prosecutors say they struck up a conversation, which allegedly led to the victim getting in his car, where they started drinking and taking shots. This then led to Thompson allegedly taking her to a hotel room where the victim told investigators she blacked out and woke up with pain in her private areas. Now, investigators say the second case happened after he was no longer with Precinct 4. It involved a woman in her 20s in September of 2023 who he allegedly met outside of her home after making several attempts to court her and told her he was a deputy. He allegedly convinced her to drink with him in his car before taking her to a hotel where she also blacked out and woke up with similar pains. Prosecutors asked for an $80,000 bond, $40,000 for each count of sexual assault, but the judge agreed to a $50,000 bond at $25,000 for each count.
This is a man that is using his badge to execute his crime, and that is something that we should be very scared of, and that is something that a high bond deserves. Unfortunately, it wasn't the high bond that the state requested in this case, but I will respect the court's decision.
The allegations are very serious, but we believe them to be false. Ray has cooperated with the police. He's voluntarily given a statement. We've just been waiting for this day to come so we can begin the defense of the charges.
Now, Thompson did post bond this afternoon after turning himself in today. Investigators say DNA samples were able to link him to at least one of the victims, and both victims were able to identify him in a picture. Thompson has no previous criminal history and is married with 3 kids. Now, investigators say they do believe there could be more victims out there. They're asking anyone who may recognize him or had an encounter with him to come forward. In the meantime, he is due back in court the second week of December. Live in downtown Houston, Devon Raming, KHOU 11 News.